Hello and welcome to the Morgan Le Roche overview of hot topics for employment law in 2019. We cannot talk about anything employment law related at the moment without mentioning Brexit. Regardless of whether a deal on the UK's exit from the EU is agreed, the rules around the employment of EU nationals will change sooner or later. Once the UK leaves the EU, free movement will end. The government has introduced a scheme under which EU workers already in the UK will be able to apply for settled status, to live and work in the UK indefinitely. Employers need to be aware that employment of workers from the EU is likely to be subject to restrictions in the same way as other foreign nationals, so employers will need to adjust their recruitment processes. Recruitment and retention policies will also need to be reviewed for effective workforce planning. For more information, check out our Eventbrite page for our upcoming business immigration courses. Employers with 250 or more employees must report on their percentage gender pay gap annually. This means that the deadlines for the second round of reports are either the 30th of March for public sector organisations or the 4th of April for those in the private sector. Employers need to gear up to publish their second report if they have not already done so. There is no obligation on employers to provide a narrative, but they should bear in mind that an explanation may help to limit any reputational damage. Given that comparisons are likely to be made with the previous year's report, employers should consider highlighting any reduction in the gap or be able to provide good reasons for any increases. The new national minimum wage rates that apply from the 1st of April are set out on the slide. For example, workers aged 25 and over are now entitled to £8.21 an hour for the national living wage from the 1st of April. The government's Good Work Plan, published in December 2018, made a commitment to increase the penalties for employers that repeatedly breach their employment law obligations. Tribunals have the power to impose a £5,000 aggravated breach penalty on employers losing cases, and from the 6th of April, the maximum limit on these penalties will rise to £20,000. Two important changes will come into force on the 6th of April in relation to payslips. The first is that where people's pay varies according to the number of hours they work, employers must now include the total number of hours worked in that period on the payslip. Secondly, payslips must now be given not just to employees but also to workers. From April 2019, the minimum contributions for auto-enrolment pension schemes will increase for both employers and employees. Currently, automatic enrolment requirements mean employers must contribute a minimum of 2% of an eligible worker's pre-tax salary to their pension pot, with the individual contributing 3%. However, under the new requirements, employers and employees will now have to contribute a minimum of 3% and 5% respectively. The weekly amount for statutory family pay rates is expected to increase to £148.68 a week for the 2019-2020 tax period. This rate will apply to maternity pay, adoption pay, paternity pay, shared parental leave pay, and maternity allowance. The weekly rate for statutory sick pay is expected to increase to £94.25 a week from the 6th of April. Looking ahead to 2020, one of the most significant changes will be that employees are entitled to their contract of employment either before employment commences or no later than day one. Employers should start thinking now about their recruitment processes and whether their contracts of employment are up to date. Morgan Le Roche offers an employer support service which can assist employers with their HR documentation. For more information about anything employment law related or HR queries, please contact us.